Hello,
Hey everyone.
everybody. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Manna House podcast. My name is Tino,
And my name's Natalie.
and today we're joined by a very, very, very special guest.
hmm
She has arguably the best name in the world. Um, I'm not like biased at all.
I'm
Uh,
biased. She has the best name in the world.
yeah, it's see that's why I had to say it because if you said it,
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
have
yeah.
sounded like
Yeah.
you're being biased. But yeah, I got you. I got
Good.
you.
We all agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Today we are joined by Natalie Layne. Natalie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. I can tell this is going to be a blast.
It's gonna be a whole vibe.
Yeah.
I will say you are, and you know what? This people are gonna call me out for this because I say this to a lot of people, but I'm not lying when I say it. You
Okay.
are one of my favorite artists.
Thank you.
When
Thank
an
you.
artist just is releasing music and you're like, every song on your album, every song on your EP, every single, I'm like, this is a good song.
You're so
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you,
So-
Natalie.
And I'm not just buttering you up because you're Natalie. Like, honestly,
Great. But it helps, I think.
yeah, it does
Yeah.
actually help.
I feel like I sense a theme that's gonna a recurring theme throughout this
The love
podcast.
We're gonna hype each other up. But no, honestly, you're an amazing musician, pianist. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what is it that you do?
Yes. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Natalie Layne, and I have been playing the piano since I was 3 years old. It's always been my favorite thing to do. And I remember as a kid, I wondered if it could be my job someday to play the piano. And, God said yes to that dream, and I've been working on it for a while here. I grew up in the great state of Colorado, and now I live in Nashville, Tennessee, where a lot of people are making music, and it's a beautiful place to be creative. And so I came here to go to music school, and then I ended up staying, and I've been here for about 9 years now, which is crazy, working on this career in writing songs, and have gotten to travel the world playing songs that I wrote, which is crazy. Every time I say that, I'm like, that's not real. That can't be my life, is it? So I just feel like I'm living the dream, and it's been so sweet to do it with such great people and just following the Lord wherever He leads us. And it's a dream. It's the best.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Playing
That's so
since you were
cool.
3 years old is
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy. It's
But
crazy.
also, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means we've got to. These are now questions we have to ask. If you've been playing since you were 3, what was the first song that you learned to play on piano?
I think so. I started by playing by ear. My parents were both very musical, and so they gave me a little keyboard, and I would just pluck out little songs. So I think I was playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, Little Lamb, Little Lamb. And just like nursery rhymes that I knew were probably the first songs I played on the piano. But then I got way into it because I had great piano teachers, and so they taught me how to play classical and jazz, and we got pretty deep into it,
Yeah.
but it started with those nursery rhymes that I knew.
I mean, the jazz makes sense because
Yeah. We can hear it.
Yeah, we're hearing it.
We can hear it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how you graduated from Mary Had a Little Lamb because some of us are still there. So-
Totally. And listen, I still play Mary Had a Little Lamb, but I have a few more chords now that I can
Okay.
put under the melody. You know what I'm
There's,
saying?
Yeah.
there's hope for you, babes.
A little more interesting there.
And my other question was going to be, what's your favorite song to play now?
Oh, that's so hard. Oh, I love to play a lot of things. I mean, I love to play the songs that I'm writing, of course. But I try to keep myself, I try to keep my chops up on the piano too. So I try to occasionally play a little bit of Bach, a little bit of jazz, a little bit, I try to keep my like piano chops up. So if I'm just sitting down to play, I might play Bach,
Okay.
which is weird, but like I know that I'm a nerd. Okay. I know that I'm a musical nerd.
Embrace
and
it.
I'm owning it. Yes.
Mhm.
I think we
Yeah.
have to.
They love that.
I love that.
I think we are seeing your musical talent, especially in the Friday series.
Yeah.
Like we've
Your
said
face.
this to too many people. We cry too much over here in
Yeah.
this house. You
Yeah.
know, music is just like
Yeah. On Fridays, we're just like, it's time.
like.
Have you
Can
got
we
the
get this as an album?
have you got the tissue?
Like,
Natalie posted a new video.
Are
yeah,
you talking about the old Music Friday
the old
videos?
Music
Yeah.
Fridays, because it's
Okay.
like it's such a throwback, and it's like this song, but then also we can't cry like sad cry like oh my days is emotional. This is cry of like oh my days this is beautiful, and then you just throw in the jazzy chords.
Oh,
think-
girl, it's fun.
Was it Lord I Lift Your Name on High
Mm-hmm.
that
was just
you
this
posted
last
recently?
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Because they're so good, these songs that people remember. If people don't know what we're talking about, I thought it was so interesting. We talk about New Music Friday all the time, but what if we called it Old Music Friday and we played old songs that we grew up on,
yep,
And so the criteria for the series is the song has to be older than me for me to play it on Old
Ooh.
Music Friday.
I
Okay.
like that.
Right. So usually most of these songs are from the 80s, they're from the 70s, But they're songs that are like in our bones from when we
Yep.
grew up. Like they're so nostalgic, but they're so rich. And like, I just love these lyrics. So I've been playing some of them on tour too. On the road, we'll do like a whole worship time of these old songs. And it's so special. Like people love these songs and they
100.
go so deep. So I love it.
Literally, we
Yeah.
still sing them in our church.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Songs that we're
like,
still
You
singing today.
should,
Yeah.
As you should. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are
Yeah.
you guys based? Where do you live?
We live in sunny Doncaster, here in
the UK.
the UK.
Amazing.
It is sunny like maybe 3 weeks of the year, but
This
yeah.
is one of those weeks.
this is one of those weeks. So it's
Take it.
been a great week,
Yeah.
That is,
Um,
you're smiling a little extra because of the sun. I
oh
love
yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely. But yeah,
That's great.
I am originally from London, and Natalie is from Preston, which is even further north. And then we got married, and we decided to meet in the middle. Even though the middle is more north,
I was like-
but we're not counting. We're not
Yeah.
counting.
I
What
took
kind
him
of?
from the south.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
south's not as good as the north. So.
Totally. That's awesome. Well, I want to make it to London someday, so that's a goal of mine.
Yes.
We'll be
Mhm.
We will
we'll
be
be
there.
there waiting for you.
It'd be so fun.
You've got a welcome party.
Definitely.
I wanted to ask about I mean, you alluded to it a little bit, but 3-year-old Natalie gets introduced to a piano at a very early age. And now we have, Natalie now doing Old Music Fridays. What happened in between?
See, a lot happens in the middle. You can't judge it just based on where it is now. Yeah. A lot happened in the middle.
It's a broad timeline. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it's okay.
give us Colorado to Nashville,
Sure.
and then give us Nashville to now.
Okay. So I grew up in a great church in Colorado. That's a lot of where I got my start. So this church it's a mega church in Colorado, and it's just full of these great people who were really able to see the next generation coming up. And so I didn't know this at the time, but my worship pastors are pretty well known for their songs. They didn't try to do that, but my worship pastors growing up were like Corey Asbury and Jared Anderson, John Egan, these like amazing songwriters who just took me under their wing and asked me to lead worship with them and write songs with them. And so I just learned a lot from getting to do life with those guys. And I had no idea that like the world knows who they are, that everybody
Yeah.
I had zero idea that people knew this guy that wrote Reckless Love, and I had no idea. But I learned so much just growing up with them as my worship pastors and friends. And so that was a big part of it. People all along the way just like seeing something in me and helping me to grow that. And then when it was time to go to college, I knew that I wanted to study music and theology together. And it was really hard to find a school where they had great programs in both of those, because I knew I wanted to write songs that are really theologically rich and like helpful to the church and to to believers, new and old, and everywhere in between. And so yeah, I was looking for a school that had both of those programs, and one of my friends said, "Well, I'm going to Belmont University in Nashville." And I thought I would never move to Nashville, but I ended up coming here for school. Is that funny how the Lord works? Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I feel like
It's
that's
hilarious.
everyone's story who we've interviewed who lives in Nashville. They're like, I feel like I'd never move here, and here I am.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, I just remember growing up and, people would say, "I'm moving to Nashville to like chase my dreams," And I was like, "I'll never do that." I don't surprise.
Yep.
So, but I moved here to go to school, and then I ended up just loving the community and how everybody's creative and getting to write with such great songwriters and play with such great musicians. There's an incredible music scene here in lots of different genres but pretty much, a lot of the Christian music scene is here and a lot of those people are here. And so um just got connected with songwriter after songwriter, and it's taken these 9 years,
Mm.
to get to where I am. And I think sometimes people see my journey as like, well, it just blew up overnight. And that's almost never the case. If you see somebody that it seems like they blew up overnight, probably they didn't.
Yeah.
It's probably,
Yeah.
10 years of work or something. So anyway, so I'm just grateful to be here and like continuing to follow where the Lord opens doors. And I know we're just getting started. So it's
Mm.
so fun. I'm having a blast with it all.
Can I ask? You knew you wanted to write Christian music that glorifies God, theologically sound music. Where did that come from in your mind to be like, okay, I'm not going to go down the secular route. I'm not going to, get swayed by that. I want to continue to write Christian music.
Yeah.
What was that decision?
Because I could have done more mainstream music, I could have gone that route. And it was interesting because in college, they taught us how to play all kinds of music. So they trained us in gospel and rock and country and pop and all the things. So it was cool to have that foundation and kind of be exposed to all different kinds of music. But,
Mm.
the way that I started writing music when I was probably 10 or 11 years old, I just started writing music straight from scripture. So I would take the words of a psalm or whatever and just set it to music. And so one of the things is that I found that I was really good at that there was something in me that kind of naturally was geared toward that.
Yeah.
And that there was something that happened when people hear the words of scripture in a song too, that like was able to change hearts in a way that other music doesn't always, and that makes sense because the words of scripture never return void, right? So
Yeah.
it makes sense. But I just kept going on that route. And I think, something that's interesting for all of us when we're looking for our calling or our vocation or the thing we're supposed to do, like one of the things to pay attention to is like, am I good at this thing? Like, does this come naturally to me at least a little bit? So I think that's actually where it started for me, is like, it just came really, really natural, and it didn't mean that every song I wrote was awesome. There were a lot of duds for sure. But yeah, it was a mix of like, I loved writing that kind of music and I was good at it. And then people along the way really encouraged me in that too, and would say how much it impacted them. So I think I saw the impact of it, and kind of all of those factors just made me want to continue to pursue it. But it's been interesting because my music is Christian music, but I write music for some other artists who aren't necessarily Christian artists. Maybe they're Christians, but they're doing more pop music, or they're Christians, but they're doing more country or whatever. And it's cool to be a light in those places too, right? And to work with artists who are believers but make other kinds of music, and they know they can be a light in those spaces too. So I think it just comes down to like, what has the Lord called you to do, and it's
Yeah.
different for all of us. And I just knew somehow that this is what God was calling me into, even if it's just for this time. But he's continued to make that a reality and make that clear to me. So I'm grateful for the nudges all along the way, if that kind of makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I love that. I was gonna ask, you're in a space right now. I can see
Yeah.
a drum kit.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
tell
it?
us? I love. Honestly, I love it. It reminds me of this place. So we're in our studio at home, and before we put all the treatment, like I remember that sound, and
Oh,
so
it's the worst.
it is, but it's sometimes it's nice to like stand in the middle and sing
We're
something,
in the
and then have
process.
all the natural reverb. It's kind of nice that way. Can you tell us about this new space that you've got?
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. So, I moved into a house in Nashville where the basement was completely unfinished. And so I decided I wanted to finish it and put a studio down here. So, the walls have just been finished, and there's
Nice.
nothing in here right now, but there's a drum kit over there. There's an upright piano over there. And other than that, there's nothing in here. And I'm waiting to get panels on the walls and all the sound treatment stuff in here. But it feels good to be done with the walls. There's something
Yeah.
happening. It's very good. So it's very much in process, but I'm so glad to have this space to be able to come and create.
Do you play drums?
No,
Okay.
I do like just a regular backbeat probably. My brother plays the drums, so this is his kit, and he keeps it at my house. But I
Right.
love it because then I can have drums if I ever need them.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's a
Yeah.
good shout.
It works for it. Yeah,
We
it
love
works.
brothers who play drums.
We do.
Or just
Yeah.
instruments in general.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So I think we should get into some of the songs. So I want to ask. I said this before we started recording, but I told Natalie that I want to be very selfish today, and I want to ask about my favorite song. If you're listening out there and you have your favorite song from Natalie that you want me to ask about, hey, it's too late. You should have let me know.
It's too bad. Yeah, this is not their podcast. You could ask whatever you want.
No,
I love it.
comment something and we'll ask about it. So we start with story time. So whenever we're on a road trip, Natalie Nasanga is in charge of.
Now we have to specify, really.
Yeah, she is in charge of all the music. So I like requesting this and that, and then she'll throw in stuff in there. And every once in a while, or not every once in a while, actually a lot of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
A lot of the time, I'm
everywhere.
like, who's this? This is really cool. Or like
That's
rewind it, and I think without fail, every time a Natalie Layne song comes on, I'm like, ooh, I like this. And Love Me Back to Life is one of my favorite songs that I discovered whilst on the road trip. And now every road trip, we definitely have to play it. Can you tell us about that song, please? What was happening in your life when you wrote that song?
What a great road trip song. I like that. I just picture it, driving down the road listening. That's good. Yeah, I was in the middle of writing for an EP, and I remember being in the studio on this specific day and just talking about how I wanted to write my testimony into a song. But how I think we have a lot of testimony songs that are very like sort of slow and sad and deep, and those are good songs. But I think we need songs about how joyful and how good it is to follow Jesus. Like, life with him is actually so much better. And so could we reflect that in some joyful songs? So we were talking about that, and I was just talking about my testimony and how I got saved as a teenager and at a church camp, and I was just telling my story to these co-writers in the room, and I was like, the only way I can explain it is like, it was like I was seeing the world in black and white, and then all of a sudden I could see in color. And that's what it felt like when I met Jesus. Yeah. And so I was like, ooh, let's take that and write that into this song. And so that's the line. Everything was black and white and now it's technicolor, which is true. Like that's how it feels when you meet Jesus for real. It's like it changes your life. You can never go back. Like when you experience him that way. Um, and so yeah, so I wanted to just write like a testimony song, but one that was joyful and full of life and something that people could sing and relate to, but also jam to, you know? What if
Yeah.
it had a
Yeah.
bass line and a beat and, you know? And so it's been fun because people have loved singing it, but also like hearing their own testimony in it and
Yeah.
kind of putting themselves in those shoes. So it's one of my favorites too. I love that that's one that sticks out to you.
Yeah.
Definitely
No,
one of my
absolutely.
ones.
I love that. I love that idea of instead of singing your testimony in a way that's somber, like most people do, to be like, no, we're gonna have fun with this, and
Such
yeah,
a hype song. You just have to be like, yeah.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I wanted people to feel that, you know? Life with
yeah,
Jesus is awesome.
It is.
And like
yeah,
we should celebrate it too.
yeah. It gives me
Yeah.
like there is fullness of joy, like in the presence of the Lord, there's fullness of joy. That's the vibe that it gives me, and I'm like, yeah, I really, really like that. You said that you were in kind of like a camp with, or you were writing for an EP. So who
Mhm.
was in the room with you?
Mhm.
Tell us a bit more. Paint the
Totally.
picture.
Yeah, so this was early on in my writing days in Nashville. I had met a really awesome producer whose name is Jay Spate, and he's great. He works with a lot of upcoming artists and kind of helps them find their vibe and their sound. And so he was producing, and then my friend Phoebe Scott, who's an amazing writer. If people don't follow her, they should follow her. She's got a great Instagram. She calls it Phoebe is Loud because she is very loud and she loves to sing.
We're sold already.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She's writing a bunch of really cool Christian music right now. Um, and so yeah, so they were in the room, and I can't remember if Cooper was in the room that day either, but it was kind of a rotating group of these people at the time who we were writing like probably 3 or 4 days a week, that group together, and just trying to find songs and figure out like what my songs were going to sound like. And so eventually out of that we released an EP called Castles that had a bunch of those songs that we wrote together, and then Love Me Back to Life was a single that we did. So it was cool. It was like a group of core people. We spent a lot of time together and just wrote as friends, and a lot came out of that just community too, you know, just spending a lot of time with people who really care about you and want to help with your musical journey too. I think that's an amazing thing when you can find that, when you can find friends who
Yeah.
are your community and your musical collaborators and friends. So it was a special thing for sure.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Natalie usually has this question that she asks everyone,
Okay.
and I wanna steal your question today.
Okay, go ahead.
Whoa.
Because
Whoa.
I'm like, what's the question?
So
What do I ask?
for like for younger musicians who are, or people who have the desire to release music and to write music, but want to find their sound, like they want to be like, this is me. Um, what kind of tips or advice do you have, since you've kind of just described you've gone through that process? So yeah, what would you tell that person who's trying to go through that process?
This is so tough because I think we think too hard about this. I think artists early on, they're like, oh, what am I going to sound like and be like? And, you know, what kind of boxes am I going to fit in? And I just think it's better if we don't go for any of the boxes and like, don't go for anything that's been done before. And even that can get into people's heads. They're like, okay, what's something different that's never been done before? It's like, whoa, like we're just thinking too much, overthinking. Yeah. And so I found that, especially for me, because I love so many styles of music. And early on, people would tell me, you got to pick one, you know, you got to pick one thing that you always sound like. And I was like, oh, bummer. Like I want to bring together like funk, R&B, gospel, pop, singer-songwriter. Why can't I do that? You know?
With a sprinkle of jazz.
With a sprinkle of jazz, right? Like why not though? And so I've found that the best thing is when I just write whatever songs come out of me and stop overthinking it, and just that like everything that comes out of me is going to feel like me. So it's more of a, I think sometimes, you know, what I mean? Yeah, like sometimes
Yeah.
it's a production thing where you have to make the production sound more like the artist or whatever. And that's fine. You can do that later. But whatever you're writing is going to be you. Um, so yeah, I think we think a little bit too hard about that, and we should just create and be free with it. And I think God's going to bless that too, because He loves how individual all of us are.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's something for us to take away too.
Yeah.
So Tina's working on an album at the moment.
Come on, come on,
Let's go.
let's
And
go.
and I think we had this conversation because he grew up listening to a cappella, and like he can write and arrange like a cappella music, and his range is a bit too disgusting for my liking. But
You're too kind.
but then I think we were talking about it, and like because also he loves like acoustic guitar and just that whole acoustic vibe. And I was like, it'd be kind of cool to just mash them both up. Like you've got the a cappella arrangement, but you've also got like the acoustic, like chill vibe. But then we've got my brother-in-law / Tina's best friend is a jazz musician as well. And then we're just like, when we just throwing in jazz, like, is this a bit crazy?
Yeah, but it's good, you
But
know? That sounds
you
like
know,
Jacob Collier to me. Jacob's doing some of that.
Jacob's
Yeah.
wild.
He's
Yeah.
he's
He's
wild. But he
wild.
does that too.
He's
He mashes it up and he doesn't care what genre it is.
and we're all mind blown of like, how
Yeah.
is this working? But it sounds incredible. Like
Yeah.
we've not got there yet, but you know, it's
Mhm.
still sounding incredible.
Yeah.
So no, thank you for the advice.
Yeah, people find their thing when they mash up all the things that they love, you know, and instead of picking something, you know, what if they could come together in a really cool way? Um, I have a friend named Scott Mulvihill, who you guys would also probably really love, but he used to just play the upright bass with people. But then he realized that he loved to sing and he loved to write songs, and so he was trying to pick if he was going to be an artist or going to be a bass player. And eventually he went, well, what if I just did both? And so now he writes songs and he just plays them on the upright bass. So it's just
Ooh.
bass and his vocals, and it's sick. He does like percussive stuff with it, and there's so much that he can do. And he found that when he actually just mashed up all the things he loves and didn't choose one way or the other. So I just think it's interesting. It's worked for some people that I really respect. So I'm like, let me do that too. Let me just go
let's
ahead and
lean
do all the
into it.
things that I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
see, it was a good question to steal.
it was a good question to steal. I mean, I'm glad you stole it because I completely forgot that was a question that I asked. Can I ask about another one of my favorite songs? So, Grateful For. I think it's your most streamed one, and even the like piano version as well is like on the top. And Spotify is like, yeah, Grateful For, and then I think there's another song, and then it's like, yeah, Grateful For again. I was like, all right, we're loving the song.
I'm not like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want to hear this in like full production. I'm like, yeah, I want to hear this again in piano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is there a guitar? Is there a guitar on
strip
it?
it back. Yeah.
Run it back. Run it
Yeah,
back.
is there just a double bass? Give me all the versions. I like the song. Yeah.
Can you tell us the story behind that song? So, what was the idea behind it, and what was happening in your life?
That was a really interesting song. I was writing that day in the studio with my friend Mitch Wong, who is amazing, and he's just started releasing his own stuff too. But I remember I was just playing some chords on the piano, on this little piano they had in the studio, and was playing the chords, and Mitch goes, those chords, they just sound like gratitude. And I was like, oh, interesting. That's always cool to me when like a musical idea can influence the theme you're gonna write about instead of the other way around, you know? And so he's like, ooh, that sounds like gratitude. He just starts singing, something to be grateful for. And it just kind of all spurred off of that idea. I had thought at the time I was like done writing my record pretty much. I thought we didn't need any more songs. And then that one came out of that process and it ended up being like the song. So, you just never know what God's going to do. It was cool. It was a cool process of it. It just was an easy one to write. I know that's weird, but it just kind of fell out of us that day.
A lot of people have said that to us, how like, yeah, this is just like, this song was just kind of added, like, it just came easy, and then all of a sudden we put it on the record and we didn't think it was going to be the biggest hit, and then all of a sudden, like, it swept the rest. You're like, wait,
yeah,
what?
we spoke to Anna Beeden. She's a musician from Australia, and she was like, she's a teacher. She was just like, after like a long day at school, she's just like, yeah, I just sat by the piano and I wrote this song in like 6 minutes, and it's like one of the most amazing songs we've ever heard of. And she's like,
She's just like, yeah.
What?
Like, don't know how that happened, but yeah, God was just like, here's the song. Okay, cool. Like,
I always feel like I should clarify that it does not usually happen like that. People, like, it's almost never like inspiration just strikes, there's so many other songs on the record that we like labored over for days and days and whatever. But sometimes, yeah, it just comes out and it's so exciting. We love those moments. It's so much fun.
Love those moments.
All right, I've asked about my song. Natalie's asked about her song. So, Natalie Layne, what song would you like to talk about today?
Well, okay. You hit some of my favorites already, so that's good. There's another song on the record that I'm loving playing right now, and it's called "The Long Way," and it's just a really, really sweet. It's a sweet song. It's one that's more of a like singer-songwriter piano vibe, and it just reminds me of the early days when I would just play my little songs at the piano. That's kind of what it still feels like to me. But it's this song about this idea that sometimes God takes us straight from point A to point B where we want to go, and he can do a miracle in a moment. He can sometimes. But even more often than not, he kind of takes us along these back roads to get there, and we're questioning why God is taking so long to answer our prayer, to he's just making us wait. And I used to think it was cruel of God to make us wait so long or to make us walk these really hard roads when he could just fix it, he could just heal it. He could just do the thing we're praying for. But the longer that I walk with the Lord, I kind of think maybe it's his kindness that takes us that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Because out there is where we get to know the Lord and we get to really see what he's like. And so by the time we reach our destination, we care less about that thing and we care more about knowing the Lord, which I think is the point, right? Like he's building something in us out there in what feels like the wilderness, he's using it. And I just think people need to be encouraged that he's a God of kindness in the middle of the journey. He's got so much compassion. He's weeping with us. He's walking with us. Like he's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end, but he's also the God of the middle, and he's right there every step of the way. And so I think we forget that when we're out there on those really hard roads. And so, yeah, just want people to be encouraged by that. And with that song, especially if you're walking through something hard or waiting or praying for something, which I know all of us are, so it's a song for anybody that's waiting for something. So I've really enjoyed just playing that and singing that for people lately.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful song. I think it's one of those where like you hear the one of the album and then this latest one that just came out this year, and I'm like, even in the different versions of it, I'm like, the message, I'm so drawn to the message, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, yeah, I can definitely relate to like the times when I'm like, I feel like I'm like, God, you're going the wrong way. Like,
yeah, this could be right.
Like it's there. Like we just need to get there, man.
Like,
yeah,
right, it's right there. Why are we going this way?
Totally.
We were talking about that song in the car as well.
Yeah, I just think about all the time, even like all the times in the Bible where people are just walking through the wilderness. The Israelites walking through the wilderness for 40 years when the journey wasn't that long. I've
It really wasn't.
seen like a map of it. It could have taken them like 11 days or something.
Yeah.
It was like a really short journey. And they just walked in some circles and went some other direction. But then like God ends up doing miracles in the wilderness and like
Yeah.
showing himself to them. So I don't know. I have to think about those stories, especially when I'm in the middle of what can feel like my own wilderness, whatever we're walking through. So it's helped me a lot too through some of those things.
Yeah.
It's definitely been an encouragement to us as well.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. So the album came out last year, and then The Long Way, the live version has come out this year. Is there like any more that we can expect coming out this year in terms of stuff from the old album or new songs?
A great question. No one has asked me this yet. Okay.
Are we allowed to ask?
Exclusive.
I love it. So, this will all make sense in a minute, but I just finished the All Joy tour. So we had just went on my first headline tour, which was amazing and so cool to just like sing all these songs with everyone. So in that we realized it's been a year since the album, which is crazy. Time flies. So this tour was kind of like the last bit of the All Joy era, if you will.
Yeah.
And so now, of course, I'm always writing new songs. And so now we're figuring out what the next chapter looks like and getting to write and record some really cool stuff. So yes, there's more coming out this year, but it's not from All Joy. It's a new thing, which is, I'm very excited about it.
We're very excited. I mean, maybe next year, a big church, Natalie Layne.
Yes,
in
I
the
want to come to
UK.
big church. I think it'd be so fun.
You would love it.
Oh, you'd absolutely love it.
Oh, my
It's
days.
so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
And you wouldn't have
we're
to
talking
camp.
about.
Thing is,
I wouldn't
camping
have
is
to
great.
camp. Yeah.
It's great. It's just the toilet situation is just not it, and the
Oh,
showers.
that's so tough.
Yeah. So
They should bring in some better toilets, maybe.
They will.
But-
The Lord will provide.
But the
Lord
artist
will
toilets are they're nice.
Yeah.
We accidentally
course.
used them once.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, not even
like,
accidentally, just let yourselves over there. That'd be good.
it was the last
Use
day.
those.
It was the last day.
No one knew.
The-
you know,
It was the last artist toilet to be packed out for. Like, let's see what's.
there was
No.
mirrors. There was everything.
There was a full length mirror. I said, what?
This is not a portaloo. This is like
This
a
is
whole
what we've
bathroom.
been missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys deserve that. You should be able to go into those. I think you should.
I don't know how we got onto the toilet conversation.
Well,
but
And- I was gonna go a completely different direction, but I love that we're here.
I like it. That was a good caveat.
I was gonna say we were gonna be excited whether it was stuff from All Joy or new music, but yeah, we're excited that there's new music coming.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
like a particular direction you've been headed towards recently with your writing?
Yes. I'm still trying to figure out how to kind of explain it because some of it is even more like funk based. And there's definitely like a lot more there are a lot more instruments on this new project, this new kind of way we're going. So like there's horns and there's like slap bass and there's so it's like it's been fun to arrange some of that. And this new thing too, I'm producing it, so I'm like kind of grabbing the people that I want and the players that I know are going to make it sound so great. And so yeah, so it feels a little more big band ish in some of the
Love
songs.
that.
And then we have also some really sweet just sweet like ballads and piano songs. And so yeah, so it kind of covers the range, but it's very musical, big instruments, lots of band stuff. It's gonna be fun.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
How do you know that a song is a good song? Which sounds like a really stupid question, but like, you know, you're just like, oh, I've written this song, and you said before you've written some like I can't remember
For
the word
sure.
you used, but you
They're
were just like,
duds.
yeah, that's it.
is what they are.
Like,
Yeah.
but
And that's
then,
okay. We all have some bad ones, you know?
but
we
how do you know
do.
it's a bad one? Because
Right.
like,
Yeah, because if you play those to us, yeah, we're like,
this
yeah,
is
this is
amazing.
it.
put it on the album, and then you're just like, nah, this is dry, guys.
Can we get? This is the petition, yeah, from me and the rest of the Natalie Layne fan club, yeah. Can we get the Duds album, please?
No, you cannot ever hear those ever. No,
You don't have to record it properly. It could just be voice notes.
Yeah, just at least just a voice notes or something.
It'll feed
No.
into the Duds, you know.
I promise you don't want to hear them. It's not when there are some really good ones. You don't want to hear those. I don't think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we spoke to Doe recently, and she said she wrote a song about finding her textbook. Was it?
Yeah.
Science book.
Yeah, she found a science book and she was
And
like,
she wrote a love song about.
I'm just gonna
the
write a
science
love
book,
song
you know?
about this science book.
Just
'cause
like we found each other, you know. So I mean, she sang a little bit and it sounded good.
Yeah.
So how we knowing what's bad or what's good?
It's tough. It's tough. That sounds pretty good. I want to hear the textbook song, actually. But
Now
no,
you know how we feel.
I know. I'm like, wait. But I know. It's a funny thing, right? Because I love to write songs. There are some artists who don't love to write songs or just feel like they're not songwriters or whatever. But I like love the writing process, and so I'll write a lot of songs before I pick what I'm gonna put on an album. So for All Joy, I think I wrote like 130 songs, and then we picked the 13 or whatever. It's I would say about 10% of what I write usually makes it out into the world. Do you have a question?
Not
Are
the
you-
raised
do.
hand.
Sorry, you finish, finish, and I'll hold my question.
Okay. Don't forget. Okay. But it's funny because there are some songs that like I just know, ooh, like I think people need to hear this. And then there's some songs where I know, oh, like this is for me and the Lord. Like this is supposed to just be like just for us, you know? And then there are some that are actually just bad songs, you know, that are just not, I don't know, not crafted the right way or whatever. And that's something that I think is interesting in this process is like I want to release my best work, my most excellent work for the Lord. And so you have to write a lot to kind of figure out what that is, you know, and how to say it the best. And sometimes I even write the same song a few times before I get it what feels
Right.
like it's going to hit people, you know, and so part of it is that. Part of it is now I have this really great team around me and we sit down, we listen to songs, and if multiple people are feeling it, that's usually a really good sign. Sometimes I think as creatives, we can get so close to our own work that it's like, we think everything is awesome or we think everything is bad. And it's like, what if it's not? What if you need some other ears on it and see how it's actually translating to people? Yeah. So yeah, good people around me really helps too. But
Love that.
I find that the right things always make it to the right places. And I think that inviting the Lord into that process is probably why that works. Yeah.
Defo.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think you just mentioned us in those two. Like, he'll be like, everything's bad, and then I'll be like, everything's amazing.
It's
Keep
not,
it
like,
on.
Yeah.
it's not everything's bad. It's not everything's bad. It's just I like writing songs and I like moving on to the next thing. So I'll write a song and I'll be like,
Yeah, next.
what's the next song? And I
Yeah.
start
And
writing.
I'm like, what are we
right?
doing with
Move
this
on.
one? Just like, meh.
And then sometimes she's like, oh, so what are we doing with this song? And I listen to the songs I'm listening to. I wrote that song?
My guy's like, I don't even remember how to play it, and I'm like, no.
How do I play this? And I'm now on the piano, I'm on the guitar figuring out, this I like this song. This is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That happens to me all the time. It's so funny.
Stress.
Yeah.
My hand was up because I was like, so I mean, you kind of answered it a little bit, but what happens to the remaining 87 songs that didn't make it on the album? Like, do they sometimes get repurposed to
Mhm.
another
Yeah.
album or like sent to someone like, hey, maybe this is a song that you would
Yeah.
like? Or...
All of that can happen. Sometimes, like, there are a few songs from that pile of All Joy songs that I'll put on this next project, whatever it is. So yeah, there are a few songs that are just like maybe they didn't fit that project, but they'll fit another. And then there are some songs who we will send them to other artists and see if they'd want to do them or whatever. But the majority of them just they sit in a Dropbox, just wasting away, and it is sad. Like it's sad, But I have to believe that we got the cream of the
You got the
crop
right ones.
out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. God was like, these are the ones that need to be heard right now. And sometimes 10 years later, you'll be like, oh, I remember this song. Let's revamp it.
Totally,
Yeah.
which can totally happen. And that's what's so cool about music is there are no rules for it, There anything can happen at any time. And so I'm glad we can trust the Lord with it, because if we were just trusting ourselves, then things might get lost or whatever, but he knows what needs to happen.
It'll
Yeah.
definitely go left.
Oh,
I
absolutely
agree.
love that. Well, I'm excited for these new songs that come in. And I'm excited for whenever you end up coming to the UK, because we're waiting. We're waiting. I mean, we didn't get the old Dre tour, so we're not
That's
sad or
true.
anything. But it's okay. It's okay. We know that you're gonna come back with more
That's
songs.
true.
So
No,
can't
we
lie.
love it.
I was actually researching because we're going to the US soon. So I was like, okay, so where's Natalie Layne playing?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Do you
we'll
know
just-
where are you going? Are you going to one of the coasts? Or are
No,
you
we're gonna
going?
be in Philly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
So
I'm playing in Pittsburgh in June, but I don't know. Well, you just have to watch out for the timing. Sometime it'll work,
That's the sad part, because all of the artists, I'm like, oh, let's go see them. Oh, yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, I forget. You guys
Exactly,
obviously
you have to
don't
be
just
right.
tour every week, I'm
I
forgetting that.
know, it's tough.
You've got
it's
a
tough.
life, so
Yeah, she's
you
got
know.
a studio
Well, we
to
got
build,
lots of places to hit, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. All right. We're about to get to our last question. So we asked this to everyone that we interview. You're not limited to one person or one song, but which artist do you think we should speak to, and which song of theirs specifically would you want to know about?
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I have a few. Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine.
Mhm.
Okay. There's a new artist named Allison Eide. I don't know if you've seen her stuff. Allison Eide. And she's super cool. She's also like kind of funky sometimes. But she's speaking about mental health, and she's awesome. So I've written some of her songs with her too. So
Nice.
see, this is a selfish plug now for me, because there's a song that she and I wrote together, and it's called Liar. And I'd be interested to hear what she would say about it and how it's going. Because she's loving and people are loving it live and stuff. So she'd be awesome. Also, have you guys heard of there's a brother and sister duo, and the brother is Evan Ford.
Yeah, and
Sister
Eris.
is Eris Ford. Okay. They're so good. They have music separately and together, and they would also love to do this. So Eris
Amazing.
just
Yeah.
opened for me, and she was unbelievable.
Her voice is insane.
We will be messaging, and I always ask this, but let them know that two strangers from a not
From the
so sunny
UK.
place are going to be messaging them.
Just like,
Yeah.
they're not crazy, I
Yeah,
promise.
because we're gonna be like, "Hey, Natalie sent us," and we don't want them to be like, "Did she
Do it.
really?"
No, they would love it. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, is there anyone that would be like your dream collab artist?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's so interesting now, because I've been in the Christian music world for a little bit, that I've gotten to meet most of my heroes, which is amazing. And I'm getting to do this at the same time that they're still doing it, which has been so fun. But I'd love to do like a gospel collab sometime, like to have like a Kurt Franklin. That would be next level dream.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to look directly into the camera. Kirk, and I know you're watching, so give our girl Natalie a chance. Natalie, you should do one as well. You should do one. Say Kirk.
Kirk, you would like the songs, Kirk, okay? You would like it. It would be your vibe. I just think it'd be awesome, you know? It's not just like blindly, whatever. Like this song would make sense, I think. It'd be good.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
And this is the clip that they play at the beginning of the documentary. Look at that.
Perfect.
Honest.
I love that. I love that. Natalie Layne, thank you so much for joining us today and for being such a lovely guest and sharing stories about your songs. We're looking forward to not just revisiting the old songs with like a newfound like wisdom about them, but also we're looking forward to the songs that are coming up.
Yeah. And I just want to say this, I think for accountability, but also just because I think it just needs to be said. Old Music Friday, unfortunately, you cannot stop.
Yeah.
Great. I'll keep it going just for you guys. I will.
So if anyone's trying to take over your Fridays or like,
no,
you
can't.
It's
a non-negotiable at this point.
Exactly. It is non-negotiable at this point.
Yeah.
So, perfect. It's our Friday pick me up.
Yeah.
Everybody, watch the podcast, listen to Old Music Friday. Like,
that's good. I need people to get in the comments and give me some ideas of what to sing next.
Oh,
because eventually I'm going to run out of ideas. So I need people to like keep that going,
We shall spam the comments.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just like, let's go. All the old ones. Yeah. If we bring out random songs that you're like, what even is this? It's okay.
Then I'll learn it. It'll be great. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. See? When you look at that.
There's no problem. We got it. Yeah.
We're just going to pull up random songs like, so,
You convinced me that it was like a huge song, but really no one's ever heard it. I think it'd be great.
Have you heard God is doing it? I know he's doing a new thing.
Wait, that should be bigger than it is. That's we should bring that back even.
I feel like a piano version of that would actually be so cool.
Michael Clancy.
Okay, that's a great idea actually.
Yeah.
I'll go listen, and if you see it, you'll know that you brought it up. Yes.
I feel like now it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to confirm after you've seen the video because you might be like, wait, what have they sent me to? It's amazing.
Sure, but it could be cool though.
It would be cool.
It would be amazing. It would be so cool.
Let's revive that song.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I feel like this is the most fun we've had.
You guys are so full of joy. It's so much fun. You know that I love that.
Well, sorry for the tangents.
Yeah. You know what? I was before we say goodbye, I was gonna say I think from having this conversation and now like thinking back about like Love Me Back to Life, your personality and your vibe matches the music so well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this just makes sense. So,
it's just good vibe.
Yeah. So we absolutely love that.
It's good vibe all around for sure.
Yeah. And also you called Natalie, so
exactly. It was gonna be great anyways. Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
You guys everybody,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. Please go check out Natalie's music. And we'll see you next week for the next episode.
Yeah.
And now, we're gonna hang out with Natalie some more.